It has started. There is no holding back. There is no running away. The adventure have started. And I'm very curious to know those people that were saying this Manchester City will struggle. Many people out there are saying they will struggle to make it to the top four. And too many people are saying they won't challenge for the title next season. Well, this one I saw today, the Manchester City I watched in this game, they don't have a lot of weakness. So stop writing them off. If your favorite club stand up against Manchester City tomorrow, are you sure you are going to win? Are you very convinced that you are going to come out a winner in that game? Because this Man City we saw today, they are ready and they are going to do great things. So let's quickly get into the game. 4 goals, 4 unreplied goals, clean sheet in the back for Trafford. And well, good luck to Trafford because Man City has been with Ederson for quite a long time now. And finally, someone else is getting opportunity to step into that role. So he did not have a lot to do today, but getting a clean sheet in a game like this is going to be a good start for him in his new role in Manchester City. And for the goal scorers, Erling Haaland, he was never in doubt. We know him. Whenever he comes to games, this guy, he does not have to do the colorful things. I mean, he gets a lot of stick from some people who say that Erling Haaland is just a goal machine. He just scores the goals and he doesn't do other fancy things in the game. But if I have a guaranteed striker like that will be giving me 25 goals, 30 goals in a season, you will never hear me complain about his game. So obviously, anyone that is complaining is surely not a Manchester City fan. And now that my own club, Liverpool, we have Ekitike, it is good to see him doing all the extra things. But if he ends up just banging in goals, you would never hear me complain about it. So Erling Haaland is back to the score sheet. 2 goals on his first game of the season. Yeah, that's a very good start for him. And all the other goals were just shared across the squad that they have. Because like I said, this Manchester City squad, they have a lot of goal scorers. And they also have a squad that is filled with people that would create interesting chances. I mean, look at Tijani. Tijani in today's game. You saw what he did. That assist that he gave for the second goal that Haaland scored is actually very fabulous. So, by the end of the 90 minutes, Manchester City are celebrating their win. 4 goals with a clean sheet and 3 points are in the bag. But let's talk about some observations from this particular game. The first one I'm going to mention is Wolves. Their opponents today are actually too good for them. Yes, Wolves came up. I'm very sure they knew what to expect from this Manchester City squad. They knew they would be pressed really hard by Man City. But the interesting thing about it is that many other squad against this Man City side will decide that let's sit back, let's stay at the back and try to get a draw. Even if we are not getting a draw, let's stay back and try to reduce the score line so that instead of conceding 4 goals, we may concede 1 or 2. But that wasn't what we saw from Wolves today. They decided that whatever happens, even if we are 4 goals behind, we will still come out. We will try to create chances. And that is what we saw from them today. And honestly, they were very good in creating these chances. They created very decent chances. They walked through Manchester City's midfield. Like the way they transitioned from their back, and the next thing you're already seeing them in Man City's box and around the box is actually very interesting. But what messed them up is the fact that yes, they have people that are ready to make the runs. They have people that are ready to put their body on the line and try to create something. But the chances they were creating were not top level chances. That's the first thing. But the most important thing is that they don't have finishers. Yes, they made effort. They tried to create chances from all angles of the pitch, from the right wing, from the left wing, from the middle. They made attempts from all these angles. But by the end of the day, Trafford, who is in goal for Manchester City, did not really have something serious to deal with, because when it comes to the finishing from Wolves, that's where you found them lacking. But in terms of making those runs, trying to create chances, you could easily see what they were trying to do. You could see that they were trying to make things tough for Manchester City's defense, but they just couldn't execute their plan. So they actually did. I mean, it's very hard to say that someone did well when they considered 4-0. But if this is how they are going to perform against every team in the league, then something good could really happen for them. I mean, they could still be here next season. So their fans could take this as a positive. And it's actually interesting because regardless of what was happening, their fans were standing, they were singing, they were clapping until the final minute of the game. You saw it, yes. They did not sit back and say, oh, we are being bullied. They understood that their team were making really good efforts, but they also understood that they are facing a huge giant in the name of Manchester City. So the best they could possibly do is to make their best efforts, and they made their best efforts, but nothing could really come out of it. But then it takes us to the next thing we are going to talk about, because if this was any other top team that had chances to break through that midfield, if this was Chelsea, Liverpool or Arsenal that had opportunity to break through Manchester City's midfield and sometimes walk into their defense, it could have been a different scoreline. So it circles back to the whole thing about Manchester City needing a very solid defensive midfielder. Yes, they need someone like that will do the dirty work in the midfield, because they have a lot of really good players, but most of them are very attacking minded. Even their fullbacks, yes, the fullbacks, we saw it today, they were really attacking minded. So when it comes to that defensive work that needs to be done from the midfield before you get into the back line, something is still missing. And of course, in today's game, we saw Rodri. Rodri was he was in the pitch, but not part of the squad, because we understand that he's injured. Interestingly, I also saw Foden beside him. I was not aware that Foden is injured, so I would need to look into that and be sure that, okay, is he really injured? So they really need someone like Rodri that will come back and do that defensive duty from the midfield. By the way, look at all the substitutions they did. Look at the number of people they have in their bench. They have the likes of Rayan Cherki. And Cherki came into the squad today and scored. How many minutes did he play? He played less than 25 minutes and he got himself on the score sheet. So this squad is actually set. They are set and ready for action. The only thing that they could be asking questions about is still in that goalkeeping department. The latest information we have in that regard is that they are trying to get Donnarumma. We understand that Donnarumma is done with PSG. Everything is done and dusted. He's no longer going back there. He's never going to play for them again. And I think he favors Manchester City. So in the next couple of games, they could have Donnarumma as their number one, and then Trafford as a backup goalkeeper in that regard. Then that defensive midfielder position, I'm not so sure if they are still interested in buying anyone for that position. They have defensive midfielders, but in this particular game, none of them were impressive in that particular role. But we know that Rodri, if he comes back and manages to stay fit, he's going to do the job. So this is not even something I have to worry about, because watching Manchester City do what they do best is not the best experience for me. But this is the first game of the season. We have so much more to come, and I'm just so happy that football is back. So like and subscribe.